Hey, what's up, everybody? Chief here. Hope everybody is having a great weekend. Do me a huge favor, somebody let me know if you guys can hear me. Trying to get some things started here. What's up, Dark Warrior? Bone, Joel DeSalvo, Anthony, DK. Alright, so we've got a few people waiting here. What's up, Hey Do? Sound is good? Alright. Well, let's get into this then. So, this is kind of, a continuance over last week's stream. You guys know that, unfortunately, Islander couldn't make it, and he really wanted to talk about all this stuff that's going on with the game. So, thought we would have kind of like a part 2 today. Of course, we do have a little bit more to talk about with the idea of rebalancing the Pantheon bots. So figured we would kind of throw that in there as well, since there's just so much going on. Plus, we've had about a week with the new content and the event to be a little bit better informed, maybe, to talk about it. You guys can definitely share some of your opinions on these things. If you guys got questions, definitely throw them our way. And I appreciate all the moderators that come out on Sunday to help out with this and helping to pass questions to us in the moderator room. But, like I said, I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Hopefully filled with lots of wins with WR, but come on, let's be realistic. That's not going to happen. But hopefully you can still be having some fun, even when you are losing. We all do seem to have to take our hits when we're playing the game, and that's fine. It's all in good. It's all part of the competition, and the community is definitely great. Whether we're winning, losing, red team, blue team, it doesn't matter. We're all in it together and trying to have a little bit of fun. So let me go ahead and pull Islander into it. He is here and he's ready to get down. So let's bring him into the chat and we will get things going. Hey, what's up, Eddie?
Hey, what's going on there, Chief?
Not another weekend, another week of War Robots and another podcast. So hopefully you've had a week to think about everything you need to talk about.
Actually, this week has just been getting crammed with more stuff. I was set to go last week, got called into work, so that threw a wrench into it. But since then, I mean, so many other things have just seemed to come up. So we got a lot of things to get ready for, a lot of things going on, a lot of things coming down the pipe. We got Halloween right around the corner, so it's just kind of like a whirlwind going on in the brain as to everything that's going on right now.
Now, talking about Halloween, I know traditionally there's always been a Halloween event, and with this current Yonde event, happening when it's happening right now. You think there's still going to be a separate Halloween event?
That's going to be interesting. That's going to be very, very interesting as to what they're going to do for the Halloween. The developers have been hitting this up for feedback, guys. And keep in mind, your feedback is very important. A lot of times you say they don't listen. They do listen, all right? They're asking us for our feedback, and my feedback is based upon the feedback you gave me, all right? For regard to the one-on-one. What are we going to do for Halloween? That's still kind of up in the air. This whole one-on-one left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, all right? It was supposed to be a goal event, but of course, the system was manipulated very early, okay, and figured out what they could do to win without even fighting. So many things went into if they're going to do a Halloween event. It's kind of hard to say, but I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not going to let it go without giving us something.
Right, and that's always been kind of a one of the big events, for robots. They always have pretty cool, new Halloween themed paint jobs and whatnot. And plus, we're also going to be starting sometime in the next couple of weeks.
Next couple of weeks, we should be starting. Yeah, it's going to be very, very quick. Well, and Pixonic did a really good job this pretty much most of this year. I mean, let's just roll back the clock. Bear with me, guys, before you start lashing out at me. Let's roll the clock back to last Halloween and how crappy that event was. All right, and then Halloween into Christmas and how crappy that event was, and then it just started to go uphill for us or downhill for us from there. It started to get a lot better after those two events. So from last Halloween to this Halloween, they have made a substantial stride as to improving the game.
Right. But we're also starting a new operation sometime in the next couple of weeks.
Next 4 or 5 days. Yep.
Well, I don't know if it's going to start immediately after this operation, or they kind of never really told us for sure. But I'm hoping it's not
my
too much.
Yeah, my experience with other games is they're ready to go as soon as that buzzer hit. So at least that's the way Supercell does it on their side over there. I mean, they have their plan ready to go. Once it elapses and the operation is over, the next operation should be starting up. But we really don't know. Pixonic has been kind of hush on it. All of my sources, nobody has anything to say about it. So don't have enough information. But as soon as we get it, we will pass it along to you guys.
Right. Well, I know a lot of the next operation was included with this most recent update. I mean, or at least most of the paint jobs that we're aware of, were already included. So hopefully that means that we don't have to actually wait for another update if they do decide to add or do the Halloween event.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so getting on to the topics at hand, update 5.4. The update itself wasn't a whole ton of stuff. There was, a few things with the update. The main thing was, though, just the one robot being released, which is the Leech.
The Leech.
And, some people already hate it. Some people love it. From what I can tell with the event, there's a lot of people getting the Leech out of it, whether they are paying or not paying. I mean, I know quite a few people that didn't pay a dime and ended up with a Leech. So the Leech does seem to be getting its way out into the wild relatively quickly. But of course, they brought the event and then a couple of bug fixes that I don't think we really need to talk about. But what's your initial take?
Yeah, I can just name offhand at least 10 people that want it for free. A couple of the other Pocket Chase players, they're endless on one of them. What they got. One guy won 2 of them. With $100 purchase. So I mean, some people had really, really good luck. And my luck was just not that great. I mean, I eventually got it, but my luck was not as good as other people's. But they are gonna put them out there. All right, guys. There's gonna be a lot of events coming up. A lot of giveaways coming up. Keep an eye out for the live streams. You can get them there. It doesn't necessarily have to be in this particular event. All right. With Halloween coming up, I'm assuming they're going to be out in full force again. All right. Pixonic wants you to have these bots in your hangars, and they want you upgrading them. That's where they get their stuff from. It's when you purchase the gold, not so much because I mean, let's be honest. How much of are actually going to go out and start dropping $100 per bot? That's not going to happen. Okay. Some of us may drop it in an event because we like to roll, we like to spin, we like to open the chest. We like, not just the probability of winning that bot, but all the other stuff that comes along with it. Okay, who knows? I mean, we may just see one in the next operation. So it's hard to gauge what they got planned over there. But we do know that they want these bots in the battlefield and they want people to have them. And I mean, that's the whole purpose of the game. It's to progress and move forward. All right. So if y'all haven't got it yet, be patient. It's going to be just like the areas. Before you know it, they're going to be all over the place. Now, as far as fighting them, do I hate them? Do I love them? It's really neither. I mean, yes, it is a powerful bot when used correctly, and it is a complete wimp when used incorrectly. Okay, so I have very good very good success with them with the Pursuer. Okay, but that same Pursuer against the Phantom is just having all kinds of drama. So as far as the Leech, I mean, it is a good bot, but I really don't give it all that yet. Maybe because people just have not figured out how to use them.
And that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, I have a leech, have access to leeches on the BR account, but
Right.
it's still, it's hit or miss. Some matches, it's like, oh, okay, this is a cool trick. This is, a good way to use it. And then other matches, I'm like, oh, that didn't work at all, and I'm dead. So there's a pretty big learning curve, I think, with the leech. So I don't know. Hopefully, the most important thing is we learn how to counter them. Um,
Yes.
so I mean,
Absolutely.
it is yeah, it's not so much learning to play it, though. Obviously, I would like to learn how to play it more effectively, but more, I need to learn how to counter it because facing squad full of leeches can tear you up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be very very different, guys. Meeting a leech on playing with randoms, and you run into one or two here and there. You'll probably be very effective against it, or maybe facing it in free for all, where I'm extremely effective against them. Okay, I have not come across the full clans yet that have them, but I have seen my clan running 3 or 4 at a time, and they are extremely effective with them when they're running them. But they were extremely effective with just about every other meta that has come out. So that's not really a fair assessment.
Right. But I kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I kind of enjoyed having an update where there was really only one new thing that they dropped, and that was just the one robot. It wasn't trying to vie for 3 different robots or 3 different weapons, or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, I got you on that. We only had one thing to focus on. I was a little bit unhappy when they pulled the Behemoth and the Phantom out of the gold chest, because people were really doing very very good with them there. People were picking up the bots, and they just kind of like, yeah, you know what? We're giving too much of the gold chest. We'll leave them in the super chest, but they got to come out of the gold. But they set out the first 2 bots, and then the leash just took over 5.4 all by itself. So there was not really the trio, or not know what's going on. I thought it was a pretty good touch, and I do like the way they do it like that. I mean, if they're gonna release bots in 3s, I would like to see them come out in 3 short different updates instead of all at once. So that was a good deal.
So what do you think about the? I mean, I don't know if it was really bait and switch, but you know, bringing out the leech with 500-meter ability.
Oh man, that sucked, bro. I mean, let's be honest. We all got certain information, and we all passed it along to everybody, and we're pretty set on the 350 meters, and we talked about it, and we have our own little Discord where we discuss things with the other YouTubers, and 350 was kind of decided, like, you know what, it's a good range. It forces the Leech to come in and fight. It's supposed to be a brawling bot anyway, so we were all good with it. And then at the last second, my messenger is blowing up about, no, Islander, it's not going to be 350. You were wrong in your information. I was like, oh no, I was not wrong. I go back there, and sure enough, they changed it up, and I would definitely call it a beta switch. I mean, I would have preferred to see it at 350 meters. It is what it is. There's not much we're going to do to change it right now. You don't expect the Leech to get any nerf anytime soon. All right, that would put them in all kinds of headaches with the Google Play and with the iOS room. They're not going to do a nerf anytime soon. So it got the 500 meters. We were misinformed or beta switched. So we just got to bear with it for now.
Well, and that's the thing with the test server. It's the flow of information goes only one way. It's we test something, we give them the feedback. That's the information flow, and they never tell us what they're actually gonna do with it. So even though I think most people were happy with it being at 350, especially once they allowed the ability to go through walls again. But it is what it is, and it's their game. But you are definitely right on. They are not going to make a change to it anytime in the next probably 3 to 6 months. So
Yeah,
we need to get
I, I,
used
I
to.
can see it sitting where it's at. So get used to it, boys. You're gonna have to adapt, and we will. We're gonna adapt like if we can adapt to the Aries and get past the whole Aries meta. This should be a walk in the park. It really should.
Right. Um, but yeah, I mean that's kind of it with the leech. You know, uh, I mean we could probably spend an hour debating, if the leech is going to be OP or not. I think it's already established itself in the meta. At least on iOS. I mean, a lot of the top clans already have them MK2'd. A lot of them running multiple leeches in their hangar, and what I've been seeing with the real spenders is MK2 hangars with 3 leeches and like 2 phantoms. You know.
Yeah, yeah, they're digging out their hangers already. They're going to spend their money, and that's on them. That's what they want to do. It's all well and good. The leech is very effective against certain bots. That I'll say, and it is very effective against an Aries. All right, it will put the Aries in its place. It seems to have to be a little bit more hard time with stealth bots. Okay, probably because he's not running the quantum radar. And if you go stealth before he activates that ability, it seems like you're okay. If he catches you first and then you go into stealth, where he has you connected, and he's going to hold on to you. So it's just going to come up to different techniques of playing it. But as of right now, anything that I've been running stealth has seemed to be having a pretty good, being able to counter it pretty good, as well as big tanky bots. They can just withstand the leech.
Right. And something just for the viewers: be careful. With the leech. Yeah, right now it is definitely a powerful robot. And you're gonna see people, probably some already running 5 leeches in their hangar. Just be careful doing that, because you're gonna run into the same problem that we had with the Ares, with the Spectre. When you start loading up a single type of robot, it's going to get nerfed at some point. It will end up getting nerfed, and unless you've got a big pocketbook, and you could afford the resources to just throw out, just be careful with that. That's all I could tell you. Because
You will feel it in the next meta change for sure.
Are we testing the Baikal next weekend? Some people have asked me that question. I have no idea. This weekend's test server was kind of a bust. There was supposed to be a split test, and kind of jumping around topics here, but it was kind of a bust. We were supposed to test the new Titan Kid on Saturday, and today we were supposed to be testing a possible rebalance of the Pantheon bots, but the test server was pretty bugged up, so I don't know. No idea where we're at with that.
We should be testing the Baikal next week. Okay, I would not say it's 100%, but I would go as far to say it's about 75 to 80% that we'll be testing that third bot. More interested than another Titan bot, is what you discussed with the Pantheon bots. All right, with the Greek bots, these new changes they're going to make. We may see a little shift in power from the Ares to the Nemesis. I don't know how effective that will be. The fact that he holds his shield through the extent. Well, do you have the new specs for them up here somewhere? I thought I saw it.
Yeah, it's in the slideshow.
Okay.
See if
All
I
right.
can pull up a separate photo. I don't know if I can send it up to the stream, but I've got at least say exactly what they were. 1 second here.
Let me see if I got it. I think I just may have it here.
All right, so the Ares is supposed to be an assassin, shorter absorber, disables on weapon activation, and it has more mobility. The more mobility is just them removing the slowdown that it currently has when it's using its shield.
Right.
So So it doesn't slow down when the shield is activated anymore. The absorber disabled once retribution weapons start shooting. And the absorber shield duration for the Ares is supposed to be 6 seconds.
6 seconds, yes.
But keep in mind that, a lot of people that play the Ares now, they load up their shield and immediately hit it again to start firing their built-in weapons. If you do that with this, your shield's going to just drop immediately. So just a heads up. And then the ability cooldown is actually being reduced from 18 seconds to 16 seconds. That's the Ares.
So let's break this down one at a time. We have we get the speed back, okay? So that's a plus for the Ares. The major shift here, all right, is the retribution shield dropping once the interior weapons start fighting. And it's only the built-in weapons, guys. It's not going to be the Coronas and the Halos. You can still fire those all day long through the shield. Your shield's not going to go anywhere. It's only the internal weapon. Once it fires off, or once you activate it, you lose that shield, and that will be a killer for just about every area out there. You're not going to be able to do what you're doing right now, fire it off immediately, and still enjoying 8 seconds of shield time. Those days are, from what I'm gathering here, are going to be quickly coming to an end. But I do like this, Chief. I really enjoy this, or like this setup a lot more than I like a shield breaker, that affected the entire class of bots. Now we're targeting the root of the problem, and his poor two ugly little stepbrothers are going to get dragged into it. That I don't think were a problem, but one of them seems to be getting the same type of nerf, and the other one's going to get a slight buff. Okay, but the Ares has been the problem, and it's not just the single Ares. We know it's the Ares train. Everybody out there that's playing the game knows it's the Ares that's the issue, not any other really shielded bot. Like I said, we're not complaining about Carnages, and we're not complaining about the spider bots and all these other shielded bots. It's only the Ares. So will this make the change? I think this will be the straw that breaks the camel's back as far as bringing Ares into a competitive field, instead of a dominant, overpowered field.
Now, I agree. This is kind of a good change, especially if this means they're not going to introduce the shield breaker. The only change I don't really like about this with the Ares is that it no longer slows down. And here's my reason for that. Because prior to them having the Ares slow down when it used its ability, that thing going in reverse at the speed that it was made it impossible for you to counter using, things like a Mercury. Because you could jump, but that thing's so fast just going in reverse that it's going to be long gone before your Mercury comes down. Same thing with Hellburners or Blitzes trying to get inside of their shield. If they're moving that fast, it's going to be real hard, to counter them once again. So I don't know.
Right. And I'll agree with you. And this is why we test it. This is round one of testing. Okay. And we didn't even get to test it in round one. So we will probably see this come up next week. And those of y'all that are on the test server, guys, your feedback is very important as to whether you like it and did not like it. Think it still needs as Chief was saying, it still needs the reduction in speed while it's in the ability. Everybody is going to have a different take on it. Okay. So your feedback is very important. If you don't leave your feedback, you guys can't complain about it later. Not if you were there and you had the opportunity to speak up, you got to speak up. You got to fill out those forms.
Right, and you mentioned too that the Hades is also getting similar treatment. Let me just kind of read over what they're doing to the Hades.
All right.
The Hades is intended to be a mid-range fighter, slightly shorter absorber, also disables when you activate the built-in weapons, but it gets more range and mobility. So the same thing. It's no longer going to slow down when it uses its ability. The shield will disable once you start firing the built-in weapons. The new duration for the shield is 5 seconds, so only 1 second less than the Ares shield. And the retribution weapon, and this is I'm not exactly sure why they did this, but the built-in weapon has an increased rate of fire, which I think is good. I'm total. I think that's great. But the distance is going from 500 to 800 meters. Why in the world does it need to go out to 800 meters? I don't get that.
It really doesn't. There's very few 800. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna go. What are you gonna do? Put a cane ding on it? Or the other. There's no really weapon that uses the 800 meters. It does give you maybe the ability to fire in. Most of the guys I know that are using the Hades are using them to straight up brawl. Okay, so if the 800 meters is there, will it make a difference in the game? I doubt it very seriously. What's going to make a difference in the game, as far as this one is concerned, of course, is the shield dropping. But you getting that extra little rapid fire. Okay, instead of half a second, you go down to a quarter second. So you're gonna be able to deploy it a little bit faster. Will this affect the game? Will this, create any kind of rift in the game? On the Hades, no, it won't. There's just not enough Hades users out there to impact it. There's very few. Of course, the ones that have them love them. But a majority of us don't have enough room in one hangar for that particular bot.
And I think the reason why the Hades is getting targeted with the same Ares treatment is because once the Ares first got its nerf, if you call it a nerf, people pulled them out and started using Hades and training right there with with the Ares, kind of as the fill-in shield, I guess. So I mean, honestly, I think that's probably the only reason. It's just because it had that longer shield duration, similar to the Ares, not quite as long, but I don't know. But you're right. I brawl with my Hades. I love playing with my Hades. I don't see it as a mid-range support
Nope.
robot. I am
Not at
not
all.
gonna put mollets on it and sit back, even though that would be kind of funny. It's too good of a brawler. That's me. Play it however you would like.
Yeah, now the Nemesis I could see as the mid-range brawler, as the mid-range fighter. Definitely. I mean, he has a 500-meter interior weapon. A lot of people do use it with Tulumbas or with Scourges, or even Coronas. So I could see that as being the mid-range bot, but they seem to have the idea that they want to make it, a heavy tank brawler. I don't see it happening, even though the fact that it's going to hold its shield. If you're going to give the Ares and the other bots their speed back, it's not going to take much to get inside of your shield. It's going to happen really fast, and you do not have the side weapons to fend anybody off. I don't see it becoming what they want it to become without any additional, weapons on it. It's got to have another small slot or two light slots. But the way it is right now, I mean, it's just a glorified Rogata. That's it.
Well, I don't know. They say that according to what they're wanting it to be is a tank, longer absorber, stays and this is the thing, it's going to be allowed to shoot its built-in weapon with its shield. They're actually increasing the duration by a second, and then but they're also increasing the cooldown by 2 seconds. But see, here's the thing with the Nemesis. I love playing my Nemesis. I think the only reason that you're right as far as people generally play it in that 300 to 500 meter range, because of the super short shield duration. You have to do that Nemesis dance where you pop out with your shield, dump your rockets, get back in behind cover. You're not. I mean, even though it has the most health out of all of the Pantheons, it's nowhere close to being a tank. Nowhere.
No.
So,
And even though they're going to give it probably some more health, we've already dealt with the Invader, with the Traditionalist Falcon, and with the Fenrir. We can handle tanks, okay? Those tanks have a lot more firepower than this one will. All right, the shield, yes, it's there, and yes, it can't help it. But you're gonna see the speed bots go right after it, get inside that shield, the same way we've been doing with the Ares since day one. I don't see it being the monster that they wanted to be without additional weapon slots. That's just my opinion. I don't see it happening.
Well, and it's the slowest of the pantheons as well. But what I kind of think is a little interesting is they're actually moving the absorber shield up a second, so it's going to be 5 seconds. So once all this is done, it's going to have the same duration of shield as the Hades, only 1 second less than the Ares, but they just released the Nemesis pilot, and that pilot adds 20% to the duration of the Nemesis shield. So it's actually gonna have the same duration as the Ares shield.
It's gonna be at about 8 seconds, isn't it?
20% of 5.
7.
It'd be about six seconds, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's still not going to be a tank, just because it's too slow. And even though it can keep its shield up, it doesn't really matter because you can't let anybody get in your shield.
Right. But we will test it, and we will give it the gameplay, and I mean, we could come back on the next one. On the next podcast and say, damn, we blew that one. We don't know. That's why we tested.
Right. And regardless of these changes, I think all out of all these changes, I think the only thing that's going to happen is fewer people will be playing the Ares. Mainly those, higher end people that squad. I think they're going to pull the Ares out of their hangar. Amen. Thank you. That's what I want. I think the average players are probably going to still play with their Ares because they just don't have the resources to just switch a robot. I don't think anybody's going to rush out and stick a Nemesis into their lineup. And the reason, let's face it, half the reason why the Ares is so strong is its built-in weapons, which are energy weapons that do a ton of damage, and they go through shields, well, not other Ares shields, but it goes through, Ansel shield, which the rockets, the kinetic rockets and kinetic bullets from the Hades and the Nemesis, they don't. So it's a disadvantage that those two have that the Ares never experienced.
Right. And you're correct on that. Now, of course, the phase out of the Ares will be over time. In my opinion, I think it's still going to be a competitive bot. I really think the Ares will still be a good, solid bot. It's just going to take real gameplay now, okay? You're not just going to be able to activate your shield, sit out in the middle of the open, and everybody can fire on you, and nobody can hit you, and you can just tee off on everybody. Those days shall be over, okay? And now you are going to be required to use guerrilla warfare tactics to be effective with it, which I like.
Right. And I agree. I think the Ares is still going to be a decent robot. Personally, I would have, I wish there was a way they could change the Ares or do something to put it back, where it was intended to be. I mean, yeah, they're saying now that they intended it to be an assassin, but from the get-go, they kind of wanted it to be that mid-range, damage support where you just sit back at 500 meters and you just destroy somebody. You know what I mean? It was never meant to be a brawling bot, which is what it turned into. So
right.
They could, if anything, maybe they should give the Ares, some of that, 800 meter love, and then, maybe, just extend the cooldown a little bit more since it has so much, does so much damage. I don't know.
Yeah, people are still going to bring it up and brawl with it, Yeah, I know. It's just too much fun to use it in a brawling capacity, But the fact that and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the fact that shield has to drop when you let off your built-in weapons, it's just the biggest plus so far. And then it saves an entire class of robots. I'm real happy for it because a lot of people out there that are still using the Fujin, they're still using the carnage and would have been affected by this particular module. I give it a thumbs up if that is the case and that is what they're doing.
Okay, so just kind of switching some gears real quick. How about them ads?
Oh, Lord have mercy on a fat country boy, man. I'll tell you what, I don't know where that came from. I don't know who came up with it. I want to buy that man a beer. I'll buy that man a bottle of vodka. I'll buy that man whatever the hell he wants to drink. Damn good job. And I was happy before, Chief, when it was just 1 hour that we were getting. I mean, we were at 20 minutes. We go to an hour, massive plus, okay? And then all of a sudden, you get 4 hours of reduction time. I don't know who did it or why they did it, but I love it. And I hope it's not just for this event. I hope it's for, from here on out, where they got nothing to do but improve. We got 4 hours there and 6 hours inside of the workshop 2.0. So happy about that one.
Right, and I don't think that it's just for the event. Reason being is, they said they've been, they're making changes to ads. They're trying different things out. And you're right, it's a big deal. The only thing that I'm a little sad about is, man, when you're knocking 4 hours off of an upgrade per ad, you get 2 ads now per match. You get 10 free ones. That's a lot of ads. And you could, I mean, if you pay for premium, I mean, you've already got halftime upgrades. So, I mean, you're taking that, day and a half, and you're done with it in just a few matches, basically. So then you got to have more silver. So I like the change, but I'll tell you what, when this came out, I was sitting on, 250 million silver, and next thing I know, I'm broke. So, you got to be careful with that.
Yeah, you got to be selective on what you're going to do and what you're targeting. But the fact that people are upgrading so fast now, and people should be able to max out their hangers in a very short time frame. And if we rewind back just a little bit, I mean, I think if you can recall where upgrades would take literally 4 years or 3 years if you were to do it and not rush it at all, with the time frames that they had dividing everything. So, we will be broke, but we will have maxed out hangers. We will have a lot more people up in Champion League, with all the bells and whistles. And that's what I'm really looking forward to. The days of having to pull up, some masters and, they don't have last stand and their bots are not maxed out, and they come into Champion League and they're taking on MK212 fully decked out hangers. I want them to have the same thing. Bring your best A game, bring your best bots, and let's dance. So I'm really happy about it. But yeah, I went from 350 million silver to about 130. So I know what you're feeling.
Now let's kind of dig a little bit deeper into this, though. Here's what I think they're doing. I think, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier, you kind of touched on it anyway, talking about, the days of, dropping $100 to buy a bot outright, they've moved away from that. Well, heck, even I saw a Spectre for sale for like $10.
$7 on ours.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, that used to be the $100 bot,
Right.
Shoot, that was $100 just a couple of months ago. So I think they're trying to move away from those item sales, and they're going more towards resources.
The microtransactions, yeah, right? They're going for the small sales now.
Resources, keys, boosters, and these events. They've increased the number of events that we've been doing by a lot. So,
right.
And then what do they have every event? They got these special delivery crates, and people just they just sweat money,
Yeah.
So they're moving away from that. But then here's the thing with the ads. So I was thinking, well, why would they do that with the ads? You know, are they not making enough money? You know, they have the new battle pass, they have, events that they're doing. Um, but here it's kind of a smart thing that they're doing. They're doubling the
Yeah.
number of ads we get. Why? Because people are just gonna watch a ton of ads.
Right.
They get paid for those ads. I mean, ever since they introduced ads to War Robots, I mean, that was a big deal, and that's why they were so successful in their marketing and keeping War Robots going, was because the ads. Now they're going to double their ad revenue,
Right. Exactly.
and that's huge. So what does that mean for us, though? Does that mean the resources are going to be easier to get? I don't know.
Well,
They
if you notice that the sales on gold, I mean, I think this week they had the $5 for 2,000 gold, and you see a lot of the gold prices starting to come down. Okay, but what is the problem we're having right now? Of course, silver. So I foresee a shift. I foresee, just me, my own little sick Yoda mind over here, foresee an improvement on the economy. Our final silver payout should be start going up. Okay, no, they're not selling silver. Nobody's buying silver, but they will buy those good gold deals. But what do you need gold for if you don't have any silver? So let's keep an eye on the very near future and see where our economy goes. All in all, the game is headed in the right direction. Really really good deals, so people get bang for their buck. Okay, and don't get feel like they're getting taken. And we as a community, people are moving up a lot faster. The game is starting to look like a solid little plus. Now, there is still a lot of people that have certain issues with the game, and those of y'all that scream matchmaking, I'm with you guys. I'm with you 100%, and that's what we're tapping on right now. As more players upgrade and get their bots leveled up, the matchmaking will improve.
to a degree, but
To a degree, yes.
well, and here's a little something else. Going back to the resources, and you're talking about the gold. Yeah, I agree. I think the price of gold is probably going to be going down, but I think they might be taking a look at the uses for gold. And there's two things that I see going on here. Okay, one, we know Titans are coming out. We know that Titans are going to require some resource to level up. The same with the Titan weapons. Okay, they said that, and this was directly from them in I don't know if it was the last dev stream, maybe I think it was. They said that it's going to be instant upgrade once you have the resources, and they didn't say silver, they said resources to
Right.
upgrade the Titan. You just press a button and it's done. Okay, but they also said that they are reviewing possibly expanding that. So, currently, what do we use gold for, other than pilots? Pretty much to rush upgrades, right?
Speed up, yeah, speed up upgrades,
So,
or power cells if you need power cells.
right. I
stuff
mean,
like that.
there are other uses. Maybe I should have rephrased that, but one of the major uses of gold right now is to speed up your upgrade times. Why? Because upgrade times suck. For people that don't have premium, it sucks even more. And they were hinting that they're possibly taking a look at making regular upgrades instant. So, what are we going to need to sink our gold into at that point? I'm guessing Titans.
I'm guessing Titans as well. It might depend on the amount of time that it requires to upgrade it. I mean, if they could give you a ridiculous amount of days, but you could upgrade it for a little bit of gold, I could see where that would draw people, or people would be enticed. Okay, I got to wait 30 days to upgrade this bot, or for 500 gold, I can do it instantly. Well, hell, I'm not going to wait 30 days. I'm going to take the instant route. I can see where they might be using these type of tactics. All right, that's like going to the movie theater and you can buy, a medium popcorn for $2.50, and then you can buy the large for $3. They just want your extra 50 cents. it's not worth the extra power. But they're using that tactic to say, well, shit, why would I'll just spend the extra 50 cents to get the large. That's kind of where I see them going with this.
Right, and I just read that American Monster was talking about he thinks that they're going to make a new currency for the, I'm assuming the new bots, but I'm assuming he means Titans. And I don't agree with you on that. We have too many currencies in the game already. We have, I mean, keys are a currency, silver, gold. We've got these tokens, which is really it's a currency, because of we I don't know how to word this.
Rewind back a while when we had the Royale and we had the dice and we had everything else. We had multiple currencies, okay? And at that time, Pixonic said, you know what? We need to cut down on the number of currencies that we have in the game at this time. So they cut down on those type of tokens. They cut down. They got rid of the workshop, right, and brought in Workshop 2.0. So they got rid of those workshop coins that you would acquire, or those points, all right, and just brought it in as silver. So they minimized the amount of currencies we had because it was just becoming crazy. And as of this time, we've expanded a little bit on those currencies, but we haven't gone overboard. So do I see them bringing new forms of currency? No, I really don't.
Right, and I yes, that's basically what I was trying to say. I don't see them inventing a new currency just for Titans. I think and we might also see some change. I mean, you were talking about maybe seeing more payouts, after battles, getting more silver. Don't forget, we just finished or we are finishing the first operation. We have no idea what all is going to be in the second operation. They might bump those numbers up. Some of the numbers, I don't know.
I foresee them. They cannot make it less attractive. All right, you make it less attractive, people are just not going to buy it. You cannot regress. You got to keep it where it's at, or make it juicier. I would like to see them give prizes from level 1 to level 80 in the silver category. All right, as they do in the gold category. Don't stop at level 60. Keep it going all the way through. Even if it's one every other one after that, it doesn't matter. Keep giving prizes. Keep people involved. You give them a little bit of silver, a little bit of gold. Hey man, they're playing your game and watching your ads. Give them the damn silver and give them the handful of gold. It's all good. Hold on, real quick, Chief. Lone Spanker, thank you for your $2 donation to Chief's live stream here. And yes, one thing we need to touch upon really quick are the ads for the Amazon and the ads for I believe it's Facebook, and we'll cover that in a minute. Let's get back to where we were at.
Right. As Michael Mercer just mentioned, we forgot about pilots. It takes a lot of gold. No, don't get me wrong. Yes, it does. There are other uses of gold. I just think that they might be taking a look at what the current uses of gold are, and maybe make that a little more of a limited premium currency. I mean, right now it is the premium currency because silver, you get matches and a lot more of it, but I think they're going to start limiting it. And if they do that, they're going to make it to where, okay, Titans you can only upgrade with gold. Pilots you might only be able to upgrade with gold, but they might lessen it. And I do honestly foresee in the future they are going to make some adjustments to the cost of pilots, because right now, at least for what the for how much gold is really worth, I think it's a ridiculous cost. Pilots are just absolutely ridiculous, and
yeah, they are.
I really do think that they are going to make some adjustments on that. But it might be something that they do all at once. It's probably not going to happen next update, but I do see them at some point having, just like they changed the economy in one fell swoop. I think it was it 4.0, somewhere around there. I foresee them doing that again, just kind of changing how basically all the currencies work. I mean, some of them will be the same, but I think they're going to change how much some things are worth. Probably loosen the purse strings on the silver a bit. I mean, don't quote me on it, but that's just kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
All right, and yeah, you are right. There are no ads on some of the platforms, and here's the thing. Um,
Maybe you can explain this better than I can, because I really could not figure out why they are not getting ads. I mean, can
they're
the developers and Amazon not come to agreement as far as the ad revenue? I mean,
well, no. Here's the
how does that
thing.
work, Chief?
There's a lot of legal implications when you put your game or your app on various platforms. And in order for them to carry it, you have to abide by their rules. And a lot of times they control the ads. It's a little bit different than like the App Store or Google Play where, they let the ads, flow freely within the app, and it's up to the app creators how they use ads, as long as, the ads don't violate certain things with them. But on a platform like Steam or Facebook Game Room, or Amazon, it's those companies have a little more control over what app developers can do, and they likely, I don't know this because I haven't read all the legal documents to it, but they likely limit how the ads can be utilized. Okay, so you probably will never get ads. So I think xCHIEFx should make adjustments for those platforms. Make upgrades cost less, or pay a little bit more gold, for the wins. Different things, that we benefit from by using ads. They should kind of somehow adjust for those platforms. But at the end of the day, and some people are not going to like this, and I'm just trying to keep it real. Those platforms make up a fraction of the player base. A very small fraction. So, and it's not that Pixonic doesn't care. They do care, but they have to focus their efforts where the masses are. And we're talking about, and this kind of goes to, the proposed merger, right? Merging platforms.
Right.
I honestly don't think that Game Room, Game Room or Amazon or Steam are going to get merged in with Android and iOS. I don't think it's going to happen.
No, they're not. They're gonna merge the Android iOS. That's already been discussed as the primary merger. Okay. If at a later time, could they allow, or try to bring it? I don't know. That's just too much coding for me to even think about. But I believe somebody just said it right now in the stream. I don't know where it's at. But if they want to migrate their account, I think Pixonic should try and work with the player. Let's say he gets gets an Android phone and he wants to migrate his account over to that, and it can be confirmed that they are doing what they're doing and they're doing it correctly. I think that's something that they should look at if people want to jump account or flip account, should I say? Because in a merger, then it's no longer going to matter that I'm Android and I buy an iPad, all right, because I'm already merged. But for everybody else who's going to be on the outside looking in, and they want to come across, there's got to be something that can be done to mimic that account. Once you come over, then your old account is deleted, and put on the back burner, and everything that you have was migrated over. Can it be done? Sure, anything can be done. Will they do it? That is the true question.
Right. And I think that just for Pixonic to show good faith to its player base, I think they should offer a, like you said, a way
Something.
to bring them or convert. I mean, because I know that they can type in the data, give you all the same amount of gold, silver, robots, same levels. It's a little bit intensive, but I'm sure they could streamline it in some way. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing stopping them from actually being able to migrate, an account from one platform to another. It's just gonna take some manpower, or maybe somebody smart in their development department can come up with an app that helps them streamline that. I don't know, but yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
So it's not just a cut and paste.
Yeah. Shoot, I don't know. I mean, maybe if they designed designed it that way, it should, I see why it couldn't be, but I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so, all right, well, geez, that was a lot of talk about the ads. I wasn't expecting it to go that long.
Yeah,
just
I
talking
didn't
about
expect it to
the
go
ads.
that far, but it sure as hell did.
But yeah, I'll go with that. Brian, cool. Thanks for sharing your scoop of ice cream with me. All right, so I mean, we've kind of talked about the Pantheon rebalance. I mean, we can kind of go on for days about the Ares, but I'm gonna try and be optimistic when I review it, hoping that this is something that is gonna give that fix. Just because I'm ready for it to happen. Of course, at this point I'm willing to accept a shield breaker. That's just me.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I'll tell you what, I'm getting a group of guys together, and on this next test server, once we're ready, and I already had them ready to go for this past test server. It says we didn't get to do it. That's all well and good, but when it comes up on this next one, I'm gonna have 5 more guys with me. We're gonna run in. We're gonna get our Ares, and we're gonna run the Ares train on the test server and see, are we effective? Do we kick ass? Are we gonna get our ass kicked? And the only way to find out if the Ares train is still going to be viable is to go out there and run an Ares train. Not to jack up anybody on the test server, but can we get defeated? Or is this still going to be effective? And that's what we're going to base our feedback on.
Right. And hopefully we'll get enough testing with it. I think there's a lot of improvements that could be made with the testing process, but that's a whole nother discussion. Let's just hope that we can get it tested the right way. So anyway, we talked about the Pantheons a little bit. We talked about some ads. We talked a little bit about the update, the Leech, which was pretty much the update. And then we had the new event. I think that's the only one. I mean, we've kind of skimmed on it, but we haven't really jumped into it. We've had it now for a little over a week at least on iOS.
Yeah.
So I think when did it start? Monday morning. I think it officially kicked off. The event was Monday morning. So it's been about a week for everybody.
Right. It did start off as gold, and the manipulation of the system started almost immediately. They came back in, they rectified it, but they brought it back free to play, and they did it with a silver payout. Now, in my experience with it, and the 12, 15, 20 games that I played, I was able to split my first 6 games 3-3, and then after that, I figured out what I was doing with both bots and went on a nice little winning streak. Or I just had guys that were letting me win, one of the two. But what I gathered from it is it was fun when I found another brawler. And it was boring as hell when I had somebody that just wanted to corner shoot, try to get that first kill or try to get the lead on damage, and then he would just take off running. That's where the game got stagnant and boring. I don't know about a 1v1. I think maybe a 2v2 would be kind of cool, something a little bit different. Not a full 6-on-6, but a 2v2 I think would be awesome in a small map like that. Would be good. But as far as what I gathered from it, it was both fun and boring. And at the current rate that it's going right now, the payout for it does not justify the time that you're going to spend on it. You know, it sucks really bad as far as the payout is concerned. They need to increase that, or it will be a vacant mod. Nobody's going to play it.
Tool Time Tim says it was a tantalizing fail. And you're talking specifically about the arena. I mean, that's only a part of the event, but you're right. It was abused from the get-go. And yeah, they took it down. They were actually quick to respond. I thought that was great.
That was.
And then they brought it back. But the unfortunate thing was they brought it back and it was still bugged. It still wasn't working as intended, and people were still able to scam it. And while it wasn't costing players gold, you know, and they weren't farming gold with it at that point because they gave it really crummy silver reward. I mean, you could you know, ditch 5 of your bots in Beacon Rush and end up with more gold than that. I mean, not gold, but silver. I'm not telling you to do that, but it's just
you can open up one supply drop and cover 30 minutes what you spend in there. You know,
right. But people were still abusing it. But the reason why they were abusing it after they took the gold away, ads. They were abusing it because they could still get 2 ads, whether they dropped a bot, didn't drop a bot, whether they, you know, did any damage, spent, you know, 2 minutes in there or 10 minutes, they still get 2 ads. But I agree, you know, I thought it was kind of boring. I mean, I mean, even going against the other players that were ready to brawl, I thought because of the lack of diversity in the hangars and the fact that they only gave 3 robots, which also led to the lack of diversity. But, you know, it goes back, they were trying to, you know, add lore to it, and, you know, this pilot did this and that pilot did that, and, you know, they had this big backstory. But, you know, let's face it, most people don't care about the story. We just want to play the game. And that was boring. I think it could be fun, though. It could absolutely be fun if they brought that full-time, a 1v1 mode. Because, I mean, right now we do have a 1v1 mode. It's just under custom. And nobody wants to go through all those extra steps. And you have to personally know the person so that you can actually challenge them or whatever the case is. But, you know, just move Hangar X to the 1v1. Actually change it every week. And let people go at it. You know,
yeah, I mean,
kind of what I think.
I would kind of like to see it something like a little test server. All right, you're not gonna have modules. You're not gonna have pilots. You know, you're not gonna have anything to assist you. So you go in, select your bots, select your weapons. You know, just like we do the test server. We're building it up from the beginning, but you don't have to worry about, you know, getting pilots. Take them all the way to level 70. Select all. You know, it's not gonna be the whole 2-hour setup. You know, you can set it up in a matter of minutes. Select this is the hangar that I'm going to want to run, and boom, you're in.
You know, I don't. You know, some people I talk to were talking about, oh, you know, it'd be great, you know, if I could use my hangar. You know, I don't think I would ever want people to be able to use their own hangar on a 1v1 like that, because, you know, especially, I mean, let's face it, matchmaking is tough enough. Let's not cloud it up with some 1v1 trying to match somebody that you might actually have a chance against, because you're going to end up with, you know, some dude with level 5 robots going against an MK2 maxed guy, and what's the point? You know, on a 1v1, that's just a bad idea.
Now, if they could do a 1v1, and you already knew, hey, you might have a 10-second wait time, you might have a 2-minute wait time, you know, but you are going to be paired off with somebody that has a similar hangar to you, all right, within, you know, a few levels of differency as far as bots and weapons or whatever. And I'm not talking, you know, MK1 to MK2. I'm talking, you know, maybe one has an MK212 and the other guy has an MK210. Okay, they're both within each other's range. and you're willing to wait for a perfect matchup, as long as you compensated right for it, why not?
Yeah, it's just I don't see that being even possible. I mean, they can't get it right with the regular matchmaking. It's there's no way you're going to be able to do it on a 1v1. You know, uh, and there's just so many variables. I mean, even I mean, the complexity of hangers now compared to 4 years ago is just
Yeah.
so different. Um, so, but anyway, just real quick, Michael was talking. The Falcon Legendary Pilot was absolutely useless. Because there were three pilots. Also, sorry, kind of still on the topic of the event. No, the event, but also the arena, because the arena pitted the Falcon pilot, supposedly the Falcon pilot, against the Phantom, right? That was the two pilots, or two of the three pilots that came out with the with the event or update.
Right.
But I don't think any of those robots you played in that hangar actually used the pilot or had pilot abilities. So
no, they didn't.
That's besides the point. But the Phantom pilot. Well, just to talk about the pilots, the legendary pilots they released, the Phantom pilot, I think is great. Really useful. I would absolutely swap out whatever pilot I had on a Phantom if I had a Phantom. I don't have one yet, but I would definitely switch it out and use that pilot. Extended time with its ability. That's a big deal for the Phantom. The Falcon pilot, it ended up being 10% more damage to the center weapon. A little disappointing because
to the center weapon or to the secondary weapon.
No. To the number 2 slot weapon, which is the center weapon.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it works both on Traditionalist Falcon and, to a lesser extent on the regular Falcon. But yeah, I mean, I suppose, most people probably wouldn't go and pay all the gold to switch out, an existing pilot that already has, 4 or 5 or 6 skills trained to it, just to get a 10% damage bonus. But
right.
I'll tell you what I did. Since I also got a Leech at the same time that I got the Falcon pilot, I pulled my Falcon out of my hangar to make room for the Leech, and pulled my existing pilot, which had like 5 skills. He had all the good skills for a Traditionalist, and put it right on my Leech. So, it cost me a little more gold, and then I stuck the Falcon pilot, the legendary Falcon pilot, on my Falcon, and I'll level them up as I'll just start over. I mean, I don't know. I could see why some people would be like, yeah, it sucks. It wasn't a very good pilot, but for somebody, or maybe somebody's just getting a Falcon now, definitely it's worth using. Because having 10% more damage on a Traditionalist Falcon can be a big deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was just my take on it. Sorry, kind of overlapping some of the topics there. Should have been 50%. Yeah, 50% would have been great, especially for my level 12 Glory that already does 30k damage per shot. It would have been sweet.
Islander wants the female pilot because she thinks she's sexy. You're funny, bro. Can't see the name. It's in purple there.
I don't see that one. But please explain why the Leech is faster than a Loki. It's not. If it's
the Leech is faster than Loki? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Redeemer looks great with a new skin. Yeah, so those new skins are pretty cool. They got pretty good designs. I do like some. I do like a lot of the new skins that are coming in,
On
and the
the
fact that they give you that little 5% plus on the legendary skins is good to go.
yeah, I think for the most part, I'm not gonna spend gold on paint anymore now that it looks like they're gonna be doing legendary paint for most of the robots anyway. So, what else was this event? I mean, I saw your rolls. I don't know if you watched the video that I put out with what I got. Um, but I mean, how are you liking the event just in general?
I do like it, and I'm normally not a big complainer of power cells as far as the event, but this one seems to be a lot more power cells and a lot more gold. Now, granted, there's not a whole lot of stuff in there as far as bots and weapons wise. You know, it's kind of limited to 3 bots, and I'm happy about that. But it seems the Phantom seems to be the least possibility as far as getting components for what I spent, what I used. Okay, I saw that you on yours received a ton of Avengers, right? I think you got like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And up to now, I believe I'm up to 4 or 5 Coronas with only one Avenger. So I was on the exact opposite of you. You know, I know guys that have won leeches with one spin, and I know guys that have spent $200 and they still don't have a leech. So it I don't know if it's random or how they have it set up, but you know, it's not a guarantee. All right, and it's not impossible. But overall, I like it a lot. I just think maybe on this one it's too much power cells, and that's kind of weird coming out of my mouth. But yeah, I think they need to maybe give a few more components here and there.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed when they limited the number of components for 500 and 1,000, I think, for the Behemoth and the
1,500.
Phantom. Yes, whatever it was, not much, you know. But because I'm like everybody else, hell, I still need a Phantom. I don't even have one yet.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
you know, and unfortunately, I was the guy lucky enough to continue getting 10 million silver on all of my gold chest rolls
Yeah, you lucked out with
when it
that.
was in the, you know, when they had the Phantom and the Phantom components in the gold chest. So unfortunately, I only had 2,000. I think I got that was it out of all my gold chests from there. Which kind of sucks because I mean, even though I mean, shoot, I dropped $200, you know, on the crates for this event, and I'm only up to 6,000 components on for a Phantom. So I think you're right on the power cells, but I think you're also right in the fact that it's just because there's no. I mean, there's only the 2 weapons in there, and there's only the one robot itself. So this time I was disappointed. There was no uh, passive modules. I think those premium modules
Right.
are. I think Pixonic really needs to take a look at those premium modules. Stick them in the gold chest. They need to be in the gold chest. They cost less than or the same amount as half of the weapons that are in there. You know, so put them in there. Come on. You know that's a big silver sink for a lot of people. So they're going to benefit, and they need to take advantage of it, in my opinion. But and these giveaways or these events, I mean, it was nice. I think the last event had a couple of modules in there. Um,
Yeah, they had a few modules. I think on this one as well. I think pilots were just a little too plentiful. I see the beginning of the same pilot over and over again. I was like, "Are you know you know what? If you're gonna put any pilot in there, you know, put the Adrian pilot. He's kind of universal. You know, yeah, stick the other ones in there that are new. You know, but you can't be getting 3 or 4 of the same pilot when you don't even have that bot yet. You
No.
know,
And paint jobs, the same thing. I mean, gosh, I mean, I know people that ended up with, you know, 4 or 5 leech paint jobs and didn't even get a leech, you know, so,
right?
but thankfully there is a way to sell paint jobs, legendary paint jobs for those of you that do not know. And I think it was Lottie that told me about it, Lottie Rose. Um, if you go to You look at the store, for say it's a robot that you don't have yet. Just go look at that robot in the store, and then you will see. And when you go to the view where you're kind of looking at the paint and stuff like that, you'll see it. Click on the paint job for the legendary paint job that you have, and you want to sell it. A little trash can icon will be there, and you can then sell it. They don't sell for much, but just a heads up.
That's interesting. No, I did not know we could sell paint jobs. So that's new to me as well. I didn't have a clue on that. Oh, I feel like such a noob now.
I didn't know either. I mean, they said, "Oh, why don't you sell them?" I'm like, I don't know how. So, but yeah, so that's a good tip, to be able to get rid of the extras that you don't need or want. And Patrick saying he dropped $300 on the event and received only 2,000 Leech components.
Oh man,
that's rough. That is
rough. Very rough. And then like I
200
earlier, I had that one guy drop 100 bones and walked away with 2 leeches.
Yeah, same guy says he has 290,000 power cells. Well, sure wish he could give me some of those. I got quite a few from the event, but man, I'm burning through them. But all right, well, we've kind of, I don't know if there's really much else for the event. Any other topics you want to touch on?
Covered anything. We can go ahead and open up for questions now.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to kind of skim along. I do apologize if I didn't do as good today with keeping up on chat. Any questions or comments in there? But yeah, you guys, if you guys have any questions or comments having to do with, at least roundabout something with the stream here. I know the economy sucks. I know matchmaking sucks. Economy's getting better though, believe it or not. But matchmaking, yeah, it can still suck pretty bad. But that's not what this stream is about. That's a whole nother topic on a whole nother day.
For a whole lot of hours on that one.
Yeah. And unfortunately, until we can actually get somebody from Pixonic to kind of explain how matchmaking works, even if it's not specific, but more in general terms, until we can get that to happen, we can't really talk about it other than to say, okay, well, it sucks,
Let's see here. I saw my name come up for a question. What do you think about the trade system we talked about? I am somewhat in favor of a trade system, not player to player, but a trade-in value, kind of like in components is what we have, where we have the conversions. Okay, I don't like the way it works out, or the rate that they charge you the silver at. I mean, you could actually build components, brand new, for the cheaper you would do a conversion. If you're talking about the player to player, all right, where I have a leech and I have 2 leeches and let's say Chief has 1 phantom, and we want to swap out because he really wants a leech, and you could do it based on a value system. I think that would be good, as long as I see it being more manipulated. People getting talked out of the robots. Well, I'm going to give you X, Y, Z, and all you have to do is give me A. Yeah, but the comparison is bad. People make mistakes like that and get very upset. So for that reason, I'm not in favor of a trade system, because it can be manipulated just as easily as they manipulated the arena.
And if you think the economy is bad now, just imagine how bad it would be if we had a trade market where I could put a Cossack up for sale for 150,000 gold. A normal person probably won't buy that, right? Well, guess what? Those third-party vendors, that's exactly what they do. They say, put up a Cossack, tell me what the trade number is, I'll look it up, and I'll pay you this crazy amount of gold for a Cossack that is not even worth anything. And then next thing you know, hey, I spent $20 and these guys gave me, 150,000 gold. It's bad. It's just a bad idea to have that kind of like an auction house. My opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it can get manipulated really, really quick. And for that reason, I'm not for it.
Yin Gamer asks, will the Ao June be nerfed? My personal opinion, yes. Probably sometime in the next 4 or 5 months, I do see the Ao June getting nerfed. And it's not because it's so strong. It is because since they've been giving away so many of them, it's found its way into a lot of hangars. And that's how they decide what gets nerfed, is how plentiful a robot is. So, unfortunately, a lot of times it's kind of like shooting themselves in the foot. They give away a bunch of a certain robot, and then people put them in their hangars, and then their data comes back to some other guy that's counting the beans and says, oh, well, we have, too many people using the Ao June now, so we need to nerf it so that get more diversity.
Yeah, and with the nerf of the Ares, plan to see a whole lot more of them. A whole lot more of the Algiers will be popping up. I'm going through the comment section as well, Chief.
Yeah, trying to. Why was the Hades turned into a mid-ranger? Advertised be a versatile brawler before. Hotshot, honestly, I'm pretty sure that we've got 2 different developer teams that are probably working on it. Those that initially designed the robots and, explained everything from the get-go, compared to those that are now taking a look and working on it to make adjustments. I'm sure it's two totally different people, because and I'll tell you, both groups equally do not play the game, but yeah, they don't know how it's actually used or what makes it strong for a certain reason.
And I honestly don't think by adding, an additional 300 meters to its internal firing weapon, it's going to change it into a mid-range support bot. Most of the people that use them to brawl. You're still going to be as accurate, if not more accurate, since you have more rapid fire with your interior shoulder weapon, with your shoulder cannon. What they want for it and what it is, are 2 different things. The bot is a brawler, but can be used as a support bot. But in all honesty, any one of the 3 could be used as a support bot from 500 to 600 meters and back.
Do we think, and I saw a couple of people ask this earlier too, do we think there's going to be a discount? I'm guessing you mean discount upgrade, like upgrade weekend. Honestly, I was hoping there would be this weekend. It didn't happen. So I'm not sure. I
don't foresee it for 5.4, but I would be willing to bet, my last donut that we should get it for the Halloween update.
You got to keep in mind too that this event that we had, it was kind of a new thing for them. It wasn't based around a holiday or anything like that. It was strictly kind of them testing the waters with this whole lore stuff that they're doing. It's a shorter event than we've had before. It also started on a Monday. Usually they start like on a Friday. And I think they were specific about starting it on a Monday so that it could end by a certain time, just in case we do, or they know whether or not we're having a Halloween event. I'm going to assume we're going to have a Halloween event, but they wanted to make sure this event was over before the Halloween event needs to kick in. So
yeah. And as soon as we're done with this update, you can pretty much get ready for news on the Halloween event and what's going to be transpiring, what's going to be coming. It won't be long. All right, Halloween is just around the corner. We're within about, I believe, 30, 40 days away from it. So we should be starting to talk about it very, very soon. As soon as I get information, you guys will be getting it. I'll be starting the rumors off right away. I like to see a pumpkin skin. We've never seen a jack-o'-lantern skin just yet. I can see the lance looking like a big old fat pumpkin running around. That'd be kind of cool. Just wonder what kind of skins they'll bring this time.
All right, so looks like Dominic is asking, his operations is over. Any advice as to what level achieved makes it great value to purchase the pass? Level 30, 40, or what level? My answer to that, I would say that I think, honestly, anything over level 20, you're making profit more than if you were to spend that same $15 to buy like gold. I think you start making a lot more profit anything past level 20, but obviously the higher the level, the more you're gonna make. So I think I would recommend, to somebody that doesn't spend much on the game, I'd say as long as they got past level 40, and I would have to actually look at the prizes. But I think probably around level 40 or past, I would recommend that they get it. What about you, Eddie?
Yeah, the only thing I would add into that would be, gauge the rate of your progress. I mean, if you're flying through the levels pretty quick, then it's something that you might be interested in getting. If you are going really slow and, we got, 10 days to go and you're still at level 50, then I would strongly recommend not getting it.
Right, and it depends too. Is there, if you take a look, is there a specific? I recommended anything past 40. I think anything past 20, you're going to make a profit, based on the $15 that you're investing. Anything past 40, I think, is a good deal. But it also depends, what are you looking to get? Was there a target? Because, at level 40, you're not going to get a full Viper. You're not going to get that full Inquisitor, if you still wanted an Inquisitor. You're not going to get any of the legendary pilots. You're only going to get a couple of the legendary skins. But resource-wise, you're going to make out still either way. So.
Yeah, you're going to do good.
Will Islander do his first live stream this year? You can do a live stream this year, Eddie?
Oh, eventually I'm going to get around to that live stream. First things first, I've already gone to go look at the tablet that I want. But when I actually got the tablet into my hands and noticed that there was a significant difference between a 10.5 tablet and a 12-inch tablet, it kind of threw me off a little bit. Although that tablet is everything that I would need or want for live streaming and everything. Until I get it, I won't do a live stream. If I were to do a live stream on the current device that I have, which y'all see me play on, I think it would be way too choppy. Now, doing a potential newsroom live, that is a potential, and y'all let me know if that's something you'd be willing to see. News and rumors type of deal. I think I could go ahead and do that on YouTube Game Room Live, and would be okay. But as far as actual gameplay, not until we get a brand new device, my friends. Awesome. And the computer with the BlueStacks, hell no, it just crashing all over the place.
Moscovium discount on tokens this weekend is yeah, it is, but it's also only the halfway point. We still have another week to go, I believe, on the
And you should see
the event.
the 50% discount come up.
Yeah, and I think they did that on the last event where, like a week into it, they gave like a 20% discount. But then towards the
Right.
end, they did push that 50% discount. So
Yeah, and I normally always wait till the end, but this time, of course, I had a couple of subscribers that sent donations and said, "Hey, man, go ahead and do this." I said, "Well, you put in 50, I'll put in 50, I'll get 100 bones, and we'll do it." So that's why I did it early this time. Normally, I'll just wait to the very, very end, and if I drop, 100, then I would get double, what you normally get. So, and I will do that for the Halloween, because I don't foresee myself dropping another penny on this event.
and American Monster calling for super heavy shock trains coming for the Christmas event. If that happens, man, I'm going to hunt you down,
Hell no.
and I am going to do very bad things.
You know what? Chief, mute him right now.
Yeah, keep him away from.
There.
Yeah, we don't need any. We don't want them testing a ginormous shock train on one of these Titans.
Oh no. American Monster, you are not allowed on the feedback forums at all, bro. You stay away from that.
Let's see. And I don't see too many other questions.
All right. Give it a wrap up then. It's been a good stream.
All right. Well, as always, Eddie, I appreciate you coming on and shooting the shit with me.
Absolutely.
And
always a pleasure.
Talking everything War Robots. It was kind of a rehash. Some of it was rehashed over, kind of last week, but it's good to really get in there and discuss this stuff now that we've had a chance, hands on with most of it. Kind of makes a difference sometimes. But looking forward to doing some more of these. And some of the viewers, make sure, if there's specific topics or something you guys want to talk about, put it in the video comments underneath this video. I try to consider topics that some of the viewers come up with. But always,
guys, you got to speak up. I mean, there's something y'all want to talk about, something y'all want to go over. You got to leave a comment in the comment section so that we can use that as a reference to potentially put it on the stream.
Right. And do me another favor, for those of you that are watching now or after the video post or whatever, let me know where you heard about this podcast. I'm just trying to take a look at where I'm posting, where I'm advertising for this, and looking for a little bit of feedback from you guys. I mean, I usually post links throughout multiple Discord channels. I post it on most of the pages on Facebook. The Reddit folks, thank you all very much over there at Reddit. Shout out to them. Friendly group. But sometimes I post it up there on Reddit. So, or do you guys just stumble on it on YouTube? I just want to make sure that, I'm trying to reach people because I want, sure, my gameplay streams are cool to have lots of people watching, but, this is the stream where I want a lot of people, because we want to hear from you. We want to discuss this stuff with you. It's just important. So just let me know, where you guys are coming from or how you guys heard of the stream if you can. And don't forget, stop by Islander's channel too. If you're not a subscriber there, make sure you go over there. Make sure you subscribe. He puts out news videos every, few days, rumors. He knows more about what's going to happen than I think the developers do. But definitely stop by his channel. The his link is in the video description as well. But I think that's gonna wrap it up. You have anything else, Islander?
No, I sure don't. I just want to thank everybody for coming by. I appreciate having you all. You guys are the reason why we do this. All right, so appreciate each and every one of y'all. Much love, guys.
Cool. And I guess that's going to be it. That is a wrap. And until the next stream or next podcast, guys, we will catch you later.